Well, hello there, YouTube, and welcome back. If anybody does not already know me, I am Danielle, better known as Danielle, the Happy Medium. And for all those who are new to the videos and you have found yourself upon this video or the channel, please do like, share, and subscribe with your friends. And for those who are already subscribed, please do like and share. In this video, we're going to talk about tips on books. Which books did I read? Which books did I like best? There was somebody commented on the channel the other day, and then somebody else asked me, a lady out in Australia. I take a lot of questions from Australia. So in this video, I thought, well, I'll talk about the books that I read when I was out starting out mediumship. Talk a little bit about my own book, as I am an author of Mediumship, which my book is entitled The Natural Medium, Freestyling Mediumship, which is for you, the beginner. Certainly not for the more advanced medium there. It was very much an opportunity to help people have a better understanding of knowledge. That can be purchased via Amazon, or the link is in the description box below. But in essence, to all the other books that I read when I was the budding medium, some I have in hardback. So here they are. The first one I want to talk about is On the Side of Angels. This is Gordon Higgins' book. Gordon Higgins is the gentleman who was the president of the SNU down in Stansted, which is now the Arthur Findlay College. Work demonstrated all over the UK and all over the world. This book is a must buy. It is very expensive. There isn't any copies being reproduced at this time. I got this from an old school medium, and she asked for it back a few times and I said no. I refused to give it back. I haven't stole it. It's just gone on to help other folk in the industry. But she's not that bothered. She says I can keep it now. But this book is it's not my Bible, but when I'm not always in a good place, I go back to this book, and I'll tell you why I like this book. So this book's kind of simple. For me personally, I don't really like books that are full of big words, and I don't really like books that are sort of hard for me to digest. I like books that are quite simple, and I can sort of flow through it, and I can sort of scan and pick out what I like. This book will let you do that. No questions asked. Full of knowledge. A lot of the stuff that this gentleman talks about in here, I've actually done on demonstrations of mediumship. He talks about the intelligence of the spirit world and actually proven communicators outside of the room as well as inside of the room. Talks about how he was trained, spirit trained, this gentleman as well, by the way. He was spirit trained by his mother Fanny. This gave me inspiration when I was first starting out as a medium, that you can be spirit trained, that the spirit world can train you, and that you can be just as good a medium being trained by these. This book is a must for anybody who is spirit trained, or anybody who's looking to just be trained by the spirit world with bits and pieces from here and there. So this book for me was one that really did inspire me to keep on going, even when people used to say things that I wasn't good enough because I wasn't accredited, or didn't have this, or I didn't have that. This book always kept me inspirationally happy and kept me sort of in a place where I knew that I could do it, because if he could do it, I could do it. So this one for me is a must buy, and I think it's a one that most people should have within their collection. For me personally, not everybody might agree with that. I mean, that's only my opinion. So please, don't take everything that I say as true, right, and gospel. I only speak from my perspective, but for me personally, this one's a must buy. So the next person I really like is got to be, most people go for Silver Birch, and I've read some of Silver Birch's. For me personally, they're a little bit they're not for me. But that doesn't mean to say that they're not for other people. But for me personally, I just couldn't quite get it. So I found somebody called White Eagle. And White Eagle for me was a totally different way of thinking, which I got. What I really liked was The Spiritual Unfoldment. It's an excellent book. It talks not only about mediumship, but it also talks about fairies, elementals, that there is another side of mediumship other than the mediumship that we prefer. Talks about the natural law, karma, good deeds, bad deeds, these types of things. It's a very interesting book. Not a very big book either, this one. Quite a simple book. This one I got from a spiritual unit library, and I was gifted it from them as for my students. So this one, like I say, it's not a very big book. Holds maybe it's about not even 300 pages. Let me just check for you folks. About 104 pages, which is kind of easy, simple to read, but packed full of knowledge. I've got to be honest, this one's an excellent one. Again, for those who are looking to see mediumship from all angles. Me personally, I don't think mediumship is just one particular route. I think mediumship is multifaceted, multi-layered, multi-dimensional, and I think this book really does give you a different understanding or a different look on things there, so check that one out. Then I got Heal Thyself, this one again, just a small book again. This one talks about the everyday things that you can do in order to keep yourself in a really good place, not only as the medium, but also in your mediumship. And for me personally, I really like this again, like I say, because it's only a small book, but a book that I found really, really helpful, again, by White Eagle. White Eagle is a guide who is not really talked about yet, has done massive amounts of teaching, but isn't used that readily, which I like as well. I like to look at guides that haven't been overly exposed. Silver Birch, sorry, I mean, I've got some of Silver Birch's here. It is widely broadcasted and widely used across the platforms. But for me personally, I like White Eagle better. This gentleman's teaching is for me personally, it's easy to digest, easy to get, very simple, especially for somebody who has quite a fast-paced mind like mine and is also dyslexic. These books are phenomenal for that there, so check these out if that's what. If you want to check out Silver Birch's, I've got the Teaching of Silver Birch. Which other one have I got down here? Hold up a minute, folks, I'm just having a bit of a rake through the book selection. The University of Silver Birch. Also, Silver Birch. So I've got a couple of his there, a couple I've got on Kindle as well. So maybe if you're, these ones don't really work for you, I'm going to cover all alternatives here. Try out Silver Birch's ones, Silver Birch's. Check these out, try these ones, and see how you get on with these. Another couple I can recommend. These are all going to give you a starting block for mediumship. They're going to give you an understanding of all aspects of, teaching, different dynamics, and that's why I brought in Silver Birch's as well as White Eagles. The other gentleman I really want to talk about, Red Cloud, which was Estelle Roberts' guide, and one whose teaching I just totally adore. I find it is Estelle Roberts was a very down-to-earth lady. She was a very simple woman. She was from a working class background, which I got straight away because it really it fed into the kind of background that I was from. And the books I want to talk about with that one, these are on Kindle. You can get these on Kindle at a much cheaper price than what you'll get the hardbacks for. These ones I purchased, Silver Birch's, I purchased from Amazon, so that's where you can get them. The Spiritual Empowerment, you may need to go to a library for that one. Like I say, Gordon Higgins, you may need to buy it, but you'll pay good money for it, or you may find somebody or an old school medium who has a cheeky copy. And this one again, like I say, was also given to me by the SNU, a church that I was working in, to help with my students. So you're going to have to maybe rake around a little bit in order to find these, but I want to talk a little to you about Red Cloud. So Red Cloud, Speak My Mission is one that you can get off Kindle, Amazon. Phenomenal book, you will love it. For me personally, it just resonated with me so much. Another one, The Teachings of Red Cloud, again, is also one that I thoroughly enjoyed, and also talked about, within Red Cloud stuff, Red Cloud talks about how every human is progressing, how some humans are in baby classes and some, spirits are in different sort of consciousness, different levels of consciousness for different learning, different understanding, different growth there. So that's definitely a one to check out if you sort of want to understand a little bit more about how the soul may progress, what the soul does when it's over on the other side of life, and more about the intelligence of the spirit world. Red Cloud talks quite extensively about the intelligence of the spirit world and how the intelligence is proven through the soul there. So that may be a one if you're looking into that type of thing. And then for those who are into sort of the trance links, or those who are into a little bit more physical work, or those who are into table tilting, these types of things, we got to go down the Helen Duncan road. Without a shadow of a doubt, the lady's a legend. Scottish-born medium, travelled extensively. This lady was actually prosecuted for witchcraft when actually the law was there for witchcraft. It was then changed to Fraudulent Mediums Act around about the 1970s or 1960s, somewhere around there. But yeah, Helen Duncan's is a must, and this one's called the Two Worlds of Helen Duncan. So this lady actually died through an interference with a seance or a cabinet work, actually a phenomenal book, and some of her granddaughters and stuff are still down here to this day. I was reading something I think on Facebook, the other week about that. So, well, not that I'm like giving Facebook a shout out there or anything, folks. But yeah, if we're going to go down that road, we need to be looking into the likes of Helen. There is a lot more modern books out there, but unfortunately I can't vouch for them because I haven't read them. So therefore, I never speak about anything that I haven't done or read or, you know, seen or whatever it may be there. But if people were asking me which books I would be interested in, or the tips on books, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Them 8 ones or them particular people I've spoke about were very beneficial for me in my mediumship, helping me to move my mediumship forward. I've got to be honest, of all the books I read, this one and Red Clouds was probably the ones that really resonated with me, the ones that kept me going through the troubles and through the hardships of my mediumship. Definitely what I would say worth a buy. But like I say, if you don't really gel with them, then definitely check out Silver Birches. There is other people out there in the industry that you may be worthwhile taking a look at. You know, like I say, remember, things that are in books are only from their perspective. So when like they're being wrote, especially mine, again, you've got to remember it's only from a perspective. But always take that with a pinch of salt. Take what resonates, dump the rest. But I'm sure in some of the books that I've mentioned, there will be at least a little helpful there for you. So I've been Danielle, better known as Danielle, the Happy Medium. And in this video, we've talked about tips on books, which books are maybe best for you to start out in your mediumship or just to help you with that little more extra knowledge. I will see you all next week. It's been a pleasure as always. Bye for now.